Hey guys, it's Farmer Brad, and I just finished this. I'll go ahead and let some other people get here, but I just wanted to show you guys it. And I know it's dark out, but thought this might be helpful. So basically, this compost sifter, what you do is you put the compost up at the top, and then you sort of tap it down or shake it down, and then the good stuff will go inside, and then you just keep on shoveling it over, and then put the stuff that still needs to break down inside. This is kind of nice how it ended up working out. So you have to make it the width of whatever it is for your wheelbarrow. In this case, I have like one of those really heavy duty wheelbarrows that I inherited from my grandfather. And this one's a beast. So what you have to do is a box that's about the width of it. And I had 2x6 boards that I got at an auction. And then, might be a little difficult to see, but then I put these little spacers to sort of fit on the edge and keep it all above. Then to add strength, I notched out a groove in here and here to keep it as well there. And then I notched this out with the circular saw there and there. And then I put the 2x2 down the middle for strength and support. Then so this side has one layer, and the hardwire cloth ended up being about 2 feet wide, and this is a little bit wider than 2 feet. So this side has one layer, and then I overlap this side back here to the middle. So this will kind of work out well to where on this side I will start stuff off here, and then I can reprocess what's in the wheelbarrow over on this side, and it will get finer and get the debris out. So in the comments, let me know what you think about this compost sifter. I did see a design similar to this demonstrated at the Mother Earth News Fair out in Pennsylvania last year, and but I feel like this will be pretty durable. The other thing I might do aside finishing this project, just cleaned up, and just was excited to show you guys it. So yeah, pretty much it's just all dark. I mean, there's a little bit of moonlight out, but it's not showing up much. Let's see if, does that help? So this will help me to be able to go through my 3 compost piles on the other side of the high tunnel, and then I'll be able to use that compost in the high tunnel and be able to hopefully by then have plants growing that then I can put it in the high tunnel. But my goal is to put at least an inch of compost over the entire thing, focusing it where I'm going to be planting it. And then I think what I'm going to do is use landscape fabric over the paths. That way I have some flexibility when it comes to growing in the rows, and I don't have to cut a whole bunch of holes in it. So I'll probably have the landscape fabric over the path a little bit, and then I can fold the whole thing back depending on how wide I plant in it. But yeah, this should definitely help. Maybe be able to make some good compost. This last winter, I've been having it decay and stuff and mixing it up. So hopefully it will be good, and hopefully I'll have enough. Yeah, do you guys have any feedback as far as this design? Let's see. I see a few comments in the chats. I'm just doing this from my phone, so it's not a too elaborate live stream. Oh yeah. So on to what I was going to probably finish up is either aluminum edging to cover over the sharp edges, or I might just get bent angle iron to put around the edges in order to keep from getting poked on there. And then I will probably put some handles along the sides here to be able to help lift it on and off. What I'll probably end up doing is just putting both the wheelbarrow and this on my trailer and haul it out there, and then have this in the high tunnel to be able to process the compost. Part of me wishes that I had some rabbits that I could just make some instant compost with the manure. Okay, so yours sits inside the wheelbarrow instead of overhanging the outside. Another thought I had was at least maybe right here and then up here of having a part that comes up to sort of hold the compost in there while I'm sort of shaking it down. But I think I should be able to just sort of wiggle it, and it kind of works nice. Kind of works nice that this is angled, so gravity will help. Now in let's see, McCoy's Oak Hill Farm, did it get your compost pretty sifted, like almost store-bought quality, or was there still quite a bit of stuff in it, would you say? Let's see. Well, there's the flash. Yeah, this is looking like 1/4 inch. But the wood that I ended up using should hold up pretty good, and then I just used deck screws. Yeah, I guess with it overhanging, I should be able to actually wheel it out there if I wanted some exercise. Wheel the whole thing out there. But it's going to be interesting to see if I have enough compost for the high tunnel. Is it still snowing where you're at? Yeah, today we ended up having tornado-like weather, and it feels pretty nice. So I'm thinking that next week I'll probably be getting some baby chicks, And the warmer it is earlier on, the easier the birds have, and the less time I have to have them in the brooder room. I think last year the first batch ended up being in the brooder room for 4 weeks. My preference is 2.5 to 3 weeks. It just really depends on whether or not they get their feathers developed enough. And my goal is 150. Last year I did 300 birds total in 3 batches of 100, and this year I want to front load some of my inventory. That way June and July can be a little bit easier. Yeah, Cornish cross. I get them from Cackle Hatchery. I'm a big fan of their jumbo Cornish cross because they don't get it like super huge, like 3 to 4 pounds in 8 weeks, but they're super healthy. Like I've had some roost on bars and they run around, have a good time. The ones I've gotten from TSC, they seem a little bit more sluggish, dragging their bellies on the ground. But yeah, so far I have not had a single one dead on arrival with Cackle Hatchery. They do a great job, and I want to provide happy, healthy chickens for the Maine area. Now I do plan on buying a couple more. Cackle Hatchery, they're in Lebanon, Missouri. So they're able to get here in 3 days. They ship out on a Monday and get here on a Wednesday. And right now, the processing place I get them processed at is a state inspected facility. So if I want to eventually be able to deliver them, ship them out via post office, then I'd have to go to a USDA inspected facility. Some of my goals for 2019, but one of the big ones is getting the high tunnel set up to get water from the pond. So I'll be using land to house hydraulic ram pump to get water from the upper pond, and then that water will be pumped over to a water tank that's outside of the high tunnel. And then that water tank will use gravity in order to water the drip tape initially. Then after that, I'll be adding a grow control device that will be able to analyze the water. Yeah, it's a little windy. I ended up repairing the high tunnel door because the thin aluminum roll-up bar ended up breaking, and so I put a smaller pipe inside of it and then screwed that together, and then I just rolled the door up. So a lot of times when it's windy, it's actually better to just roll the door in the up position, so less chance of it becoming a sail and flapping around. Last week I did have to repair a tear that I think might have happened while we were out on vacation, but super glad that I had the tape to repair that, and so far it looks like it's holding up pretty well. But unfortunately, high tunnels are the type of buildings that you cannot, well, at least I haven't found an insurer that will insure it for wind damage. It's only insured right now for snow load. So if that plastic goes, I hope it's because of snow and not because of the wind. Do any of you guys have high tunnel? Let's see. Yeah, so with that grow control box, um, what I'll do is from the storage tank, then the water will go into a 50 gallon barrel, and then in that 50 gallon barrel will be the sensors for the grow control box, and it will analyze the pH of the water, the temperature, and then the EC, which is the electric conductivity or something like that. I think basically it's how much organic matter, sorry, I have some sawdust in my eye, how much organic matter is in the pond water. Then I can hook up several liquid nutrients, and I can also hook up pH up and pH down, so I can adjust the pH of the water. Then once that mixture has been to my liking, and I'll be able to control it over Wi-Fi with my smartphone, then the water will end up going down the pipe and then to a smart sprinkler system, where then I will have solenoids that will direct the water to each bed. So in essence, I'll be able to control each row. And my thinking is, since I don't have a lot of gardening experience, then what I'll be able to do is sort of create recipes for different crops, make note of it, and then try to improve that from year to year. So let's say green beans need something, or I know like blueberry plants need more acidic soil or whatever, then I'll try to amend that through the fertigation opportunity there, and then learn over time, and then I'll pretty much be all set up to industrialize hemp. All the laws and stuff get processed in Indiana, and I think the first harvest, if you're not a researcher, will be 2020 in Indiana, thanks to Trump signing that farm bill that legalized industrial hemp nationwide. But then the issue is getting it processed, so it will probably take a few years. And I know over in Ohio, they made it to where the application is $20,000 just to apply. So McCoy Oak Hill Farms asked, how do I plan on harvesting it? I think Mother Earth News website had a link to a podcast where they harvest it with machetes, and we're able to do it on a small scale. And they said that you can use about 80 or 90% of the plant, and then any growth that didn't grow up very high, you can end up having your grazing animals eat as well. But yeah, so that would be interesting. So are you saying that $500 a year is the application fee? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so the other thing I can do is I can have sit bucket and soak like a bag of compost or fish emulsion and different things like that. So I could see possibly putting some wood ash in some water and then having it suck that through the system. But yeah, it's all going to be a learning process. Conceptually, I think it will work, and I got all the pieces. It's just a matter of making sure the order of operation is done correctly, and that the high tunnel doesn't get destroyed in the process from strong winds. But yeah, I have a Wi-Fi router that gets Wi-Fi all the way out to my high tunnel, and the smart sprinkler ended up coming with a Google Home Mini. So I plan on having that out there so I can say, hey Google, water lane 3, and then it will turn on the water sprinkler and start watering it. What's nice too about the Google Home Mini is that, let's say you're gardening and your hands are dirty and you don't want to check your phone for the time, you can just say, hey Google, what time is it? Or set an alarm and stuff. I also have a solar panel out there that will power this stuff. Right now I just have one 100 watt solar panel. The goal is to get it up to 400 watts, so 3 additional panels. And I have some hanging lights that each bulb is only 2 watts. And so I have 4 strands, and I don't know how many light bulbs are on each strand, but they light it up pretty good. And the goal with that is to be able to garden when it's nighttime or whatever, if I need to harvest stuff for the farmer's market the next day or something. And of course I have that light on a smart switch, so I can say, hey Google, turn on the high tunnel lights. But yeah, I try to find devices that connect with if this then that, because then if you can connect to if this then that, then you can pretty much connect to anything else. So Google Home Assistant, you can create your own commands and controls and stuff. So do you guys have any other questions before I wrap up this live stream? Either about the high tunnel or planting or entrepreneurship or e-commerce or Internet of Things. Okay, well, thanks for watching the live stream and interacting with me. I really haven't done live streams much. Eventually I'd like to get into it a little bit more efficiently. Well, thanks for stopping by Oak Hill Farm. And let's see, Mountain Homestead. I think that's everyone that was here during the live stream. You guys all have a good night and take care.